Breaking news, Ghana government has issued an advisory urging the Ghanaian citizens to actually avoid non-essential travel to South Africa following the recent immigration protest in...
Let me state this emphatically. No youth should go to South Africa. This morning, as I'm speaking to you, the school children in Camfontein, they are protesting that foreigners should be kicked out. School children.
If South Africa is currently on your travel list, the government says you may want to pause those plans. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has officially advised Ghanaians to avoid all non-essential.
On June 1st, that was yesterday, Ghana took what may be its strongest public position yet on the situation in South Africa. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a travel advisory warning Ghanaian citizens to avoid non-essential travel to South Africa until further notice. Now pause, because this is no longer just social media noise.
It is no longer news that Ghana government have issued advisory to Ghanaian youth that they should not travel to South Africa due to the xenophobic attacks on foreigners in South Africa. Recently, there have been a lot of issues going wrong in South Africa. Ghanaians have been repatriating their people, and also students, school children being chased out of their schools by South African students. They are protesting. A lot is currently going on in South Africa, and the government of Ghana have advised their own people not to travel to South Africa at this time. Let's take a look at some of the videos. They'll be right back. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.
If South Africa is currently on your travel list, the government says you may want to pause those plans. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has officially advised Ghanaians to avoid all non-essential travel to South Africa following a fresh wave of xenophobic attacks. According to government officials, some groups in South Africa have reportedly been targeting African migrants through attacks, intimidations, looting, and the distractions of businesses and property. And this situation has become serious enough that Ghana has already started evacuating some of its citizens from the country. Reports say hundreds of Ghanaians have returned home through a government-assisted repatriation program after fears over safety continue to grow. The Ghanaian government says it has formally protested to South African authorities, engaged the African Union, and is working to support citizens who may want to leave. Even Ghana's High Commissioner to South Africa revealed that African ambassadors recently boycotted Africa Day events in protest against the renewed attacks. Now, officials are urging Ghanaians already living in South Africa to stay in close contact with the Ghana High Commission for updates and support. This isn't just a travel warning. It's becoming a major diplomatic issue, raising tough questions about African unity, migrant safety, and how fellow Africans are being treated.
On June 1st, that was yesterday, Ghana took what may be its strongest public position yet on the situation in South Africa. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a travel advisory warning Ghanaian citizens to avoid non-essential travel to South Africa until further notice. Now pause, because this is no longer just social media noise. This is now government-to-government diplomacy. According to the advisory, Ghana says it is deeply concerned about xenophobic attacks targeting Africans in South Africa, including injuries, business takeovers, looting, and loss of property. And Ghana is not only talking. The statement says the government has already summoned South Africa's acting High Commissioner, petitioned the African Union, and started evacuating Ghanaian nationals. This is a serious diplomatic escalation. But here is the part South Africans and Africans across the continent must think about carefully. When a fellow African country starts warning its citizens not to travel to another African country because they may not be safe, what message does that send about African unity? Because this is not Europe closing its doors to Africans. This is Africans fearing Africans. And yes, South Africans have every right to debate illegal migration, pressure on public services, and border control. But that conversation cannot become an excuse for violence, intimidation, looting, or attacks on African-owned businesses. Ghana's message is very simple. Protect our citizens. And honestly, any responsible government will do the same. So the bigger question is this. How far must things go before African governments admit that xenophobia is no longer just a local South African issue? It is becoming a continental diplomatic crisis. Thank you all for watching.
Let me state this emphatically. No youth should go to South Africa. This morning, as I'm speaking to you, the school children in Camfontein, they are protesting that foreigners should be kicked out. School children.
School children.
School children. I can show you the video on my status. School children in Camfontein this morning. And the government did what this morning? The South African government, they came to disperse them with hot water. This morning, school children. Now the question is, how does a society inculcate hate into children less than 13, 14, 15? How does society inculcate hate into children less than 15 years to the extent that they would want their classmates kicked out of school? The South African economy is not great because they are doing all the right things. It's because people are bringing different skills, different products, different services. And if all foreigners leave, South Africa will collapse. And that is the truth.
Do you think there should be a reorientation of what Africa has done for South Africa as a nation?
No. I think South Africans are suffering from the outburst of the apartheid system they suffered. Regardless, it's been over how many years? It's been over 20 years since you took over your country.
Yes.
So it's enough time for you to have a deliberate educational attempt at making people understand that the plight of your citizens is not the fault of others.
How do they relate?
It's time to take responsibility.
Breaking news, Ghana government has issued an advisory urging the Ghanaian citizens to actually avoid non-essential travel to South Africa following the recent immigration protest in South Africa. According to the Ghana foreign minister, they described the anti-immigration vigilance that was carried out in South Africa resulted to injuries, looting, destruction of property and businesses closure. This advisory is not a complete ban. No, it's actually trying to tell their citizens they should avoid non-essential travel to South Africa if it's not crucial. And this is what the Ghanaian government emphasized on, that their citizens must pay much attention. Number one, monitor official update from the Ghanaian authority. Number two, avoid unnecessary trip to South Africa if a trip is not crucial, if it's not essential, if it adds nothing to you, just let it slide. And number three, exercise extreme caution. You know Ghana very well, they were not happy about the immigration protest in South Africa, and that is why they've decided to do this. Remember, it's not a ban, it's just an advisory. Keep watching, we'll keep you updated.
This is what happens when a country decides to scatter the reputation that they have built for years. South Africa right now is now a country of, concern. That it means you cannot go to South Africa at this stage. So Ghana government advising its citizens not to travel to South Africa is for their own safety, for them not to go there and, be attacked by the March on March protesters, which is a good advice. To me, it's actually a good advice, trying to secure the lives and properties of your own people. Guys, let me know what you think.